Hello and welcome to another Pop Science Folk. I'm Professor Anne and this is the lovely...
I'm Professor Anne.
And we are classed as the two nutty professors.
Definitely.
Definitely nuts. So firstly, what we're going to do, we're going to make it rain experiment. That's all I'm going to say. So health and safety, as usual, is adult supervision a must. Because we are using very hot water and also ice at the same time. So adult supervision for both of them. Protective clothing, as usual with any experiment. And the last one is slips, trips and falls. So if you do spill something or drop ice, make sure we pick it up, wipe it up, because we've got to be aware of health and safety to keep you and your adult supervision safe. So for now, I'm going to pass you over to the Anne for the next part.
Hi guys, right, so these are only what you need for these experiments. It isn't a lot really, but I'm sure the effect will be amazing. So, glass canning jar, glass jar. So, I'm not sure if you can use any jar, if you've just got a jar at home. We're using the glass canning jar there. Ceramic plate, got a plate there, just an ordinary plate, there. Hot water, so probably be as well using a jug to put your hot water in. Be very careful obviously with the hot water. Get an adult to do with this, or if you're older, just make sure you're very careful. And ice cubes. I think you just use as many ice cubes until the actual experiment works, which you'll see later on. If you put a few on and it doesn't work, we'll try a few more until you get the effect that is required. So that's what you need for this experiment.
So yes, so the method for this experiment of making it rain is, so Anne's going to do it. I'm going to be holding the camera to zoom in and out, etc. So what Anne needs to do, so step one, pour 2 inches of hot water into the canning jar. We're doing it where we're going to put it into a jug first. So Anne's going to use red hot water. You might need to boil kettle for this part, but we have a self-made kettle machine what's always hot. Be careful not to burn ourselves with this. Yeah.
Right, so
Yeah.
need a bit more in that.
So we might need a slight bit more.
Roughly about 2 inches, I think.
As you can see, it is steaming up because it does need to be really hot, this one. So adult supervision a must, that should do him. Well,
go.
And then what we do next, so what Anne's going to do is cover the jar with a ceramic plate, and this is why I'm holding the camera.
It says with the face up, so that bit's where the ice go.
So we do that. So step 3, we wait a minute or so. It says 3 minutes, but apparently we don't have to wait that long. So we'll just wait 30 seconds. So what do you think is going to happen now, once we add the ice on top? So just take a few seconds to write down what you think might happen before we add the ice, because the ice makes all the difference. So what do you think will happen when we add ice straight to the top of that? Which Anne is going to do now. So we put straight on top of the plate. I'd say enough to fill around the jar. And that, I'd say a couple more on, and that should do it. So now is the waiting game. Can you see the water starting to stick to the sides? That is what we're wanting. So we need condensation. And it's starting to work now.
You see all the water moving down there.
So basically, when it starts to happen, we should see. I'm just waiting for it to start doing it. You can even see fingerprints in this one.
CSI moment.
So we should. Wait, it starts happening fairly quick once it gets going. Yeah, that is that.
There you go.
As you can see with the condensation now, it's took a while, but it's dripping outside the bowl as well. So, but it's forming condensed water. There was one drip. But the hotter you get it, and maybe using a smaller jar might work better. So this is for you to try. And you could even...
There you go. That was inside that, yeah, it is dripping. So you've got your rain inside the jar there.
Yeah, so you get, yeah. So what we're going to do now is, while I keep on filming that, is explain the science behind this. So if Anne explains how this works, and we'll keep on filming this.
Right guys, so this is how it works. What happens? The cold plate causes the moisture in the warm air, which is inside the jar, to condense and form water droplets. So condense means to like get smaller. This is the same thing that happens in the atmosphere. Warm, moist air rises and meets colder air high in the atmosphere. The water vapour condenses and forms precipitation that falls on the ground. So precipitation is another word for rain. So if you see it all now dripping down. So if you want to do some extra experiments and try these to see what the results are, you could do 2 separate experiments at the same time. Have all the variables controlled except for the temperature of the water. So everything should be the same except the temperature. Have one hot and one cold. And then take your pen and your notepad and write down how it affects the experiment. Number 2, try using a paper plate instead of a ceramic plate. And which one works better? Could the results have anything to do with absorption or not? Now think on a much bigger scale, the world scale. Draw a picture of your experiment, but draw it to reflect what happens in the world's water cycle. So there's lots of things for you to do there and have a go at.
So, thank you for that, Anne. So, as you can see, a really simple experiment and some really simple ways I can expand on it. You could even try adding, which I've just thought of, some food colouring, and you might be able to see the droplets fall inside past the steam. But yeah, so goodbye from me, Raquel, and...
A goodbye from me, Professor Anne.
And come and join us next time for another science experiment. Bye.
Bye.